Okay, here I am. I am in Roswell, Georgia this time. And I'm at, I believe it's Roswell. Yes, Roswell. I am at Green Lawn Cemetery. Um, you better have some money to be buried here. I can tell you that now. This is a nicer area. But I am like really excited. I'm here with Glenda and Casey, but I'm like extremely excited because of one of my childhood heroes. He is buried here. And I figured if we were looking at famous graves, which I mean, look at this. This is like, yeah, look at that. Look. This is a high dollar mausoleum here. Um, I have no clue as to where the guy I'm looking for is. I am looking for one of the greatest wrestlers that ever lived. And, here it is. I don't think she's died yet. But here, that's Michelle Rood. I guess that's his wife. That would be my guess. You have a couple blank spots, but here it is right here. Richard Rick Rood, better known as Ravishing Rick Rood. Probably one of the greatest wrestlers that ever lived.
I think his flowers fell out of his thing.
Yeah, you want to put the flowers back in his thing? I don't know if they're
they
his.
fell out.
I don't know if they're theirs or his.
I think they're his because they're laying right by his thing.
Well,
I
you
put
wanna-
them in there.
You want to put it back in there?
Which one are they?
I don't know.
Right
There's
here.
so many.
Give me the, oh no, he's them blue ones. Give me the white ones. That are not his.
Who knows? But anyway, I'm looking at Ravishing Rick Rood, and I'm looking at Ravishing Rick Rood, and I'll share a real quick story about Ravishing Rick Rood. He was one of my favorite wrestlers when I was growing up. I used to go watch Ravishing Rick Rood at the Georgia Mountain Center up in Gainesville. And I followed him pretty much his whole career. I watched him in WCW, watched him down in Texas wrestling. Pretty much followed and kept up with him. He was known to be beloved in the wrestling world. There toward the end, they said he got paranoid. He's paranoid, thinking that people was out to get him, and that's a terrible way to live. Been there and done that myself. I mean, not the wrestling part, but being paranoid or whatever. But this is his grave. Ravishing Rick Rood. Same guy that took on the Ultimate Warrior and WWF. Same guy that won the Intercontinental Champion. Same guy that was a WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Same guy that had one of the greatest gimmicks of all time in wrestling. Same guy that during the WCW WWF war that they had, the Monday Night Wars, he was the first guy to appear on both shows in the same night. One was pre-taped and one was live, so it made it possible for him to be here. I mean, for him to be on TV. And what I understood is he had a heart complication. And I think he was on the way to get his son from school, or he went to get him to school or whatever. And he had some heart problems, and something didn't go well with the medication that he was on. And one of the greatest wrestlers that ever lived with one of the best bodies. And best gimmicks and the best personalities passed on. Most people, they don't know that he went to school. He went to school with Eric Bischoff. He also went to school with Kurt Hennig. I can't think of who else he went to school with, but he was from Minnesota, and they all grew up in the same neighborhood. They all knew each other. He was a member of a great wrestling family. I'll share a story about Rick Rood. We'll go over here, and I'll look at this bench that his beautiful family, that his family was gracious enough to put here for their dad, which will always be remembered. And over here, you got something that's got to touch it. You got Rick and Colton and Marissa. Nothing but the utmost respect for Rick Rood. Rick Rood and his family. Loving memory of our father, Rick Rood. But now I wanted to share another story about Rick Rood that you may not know. But Rick Rood, to show you I was such a fan of his, I kept up with Rick Rood. And, I listened to stories about Rick Rood. And there's his grave again. And over there, you can see the beautiful waterfall. But I'll share the story real quick. And Rick Rood was friends, like I said, he grew up with Kurt Hennig and Mr. Perfect. And Mr. Perfect and Kurt Hennig were in a bar one night, and there were some police officers in there. I would sit on his bench, but it's too wet. But there were some police officers in there. Well, most people don't know that Mr. Rood was a world heavyweight arm wrestling champion. And so Kurt Hennig got to run in his mouth, and he says, I bet you $100 that you can't beat me in arm wrestling. He said, but I bet you 1,000 that you can't beat this guy over there. And Rick Rood, they said, was just shaking his head. And, well, anyway, the police officers are all standing around him, and they're betting all this, thousands of dollars that their guy can beat Rick Rood. Well, Rick Rood pinned his arm to the table like he was a little boy. And here they are stuck in this small town with these cops that they had just took all their money. And so they didn't go in that town no more, that bar no more, whatever. I can't blame them. But, yeah, that was Rick Rood. That was the kind of guy that he was. He was a man. He was a very tough person. And someone that, from a manly standpoint, being a rough and tough man, he was somebody that I looked up to as far as his physical abilities and as far as his entertainment value and all that. And, I'm glad I got to visit his gravesite. And as always, please like, and please subscribe.
And before we leave, this is called Strictly Strange, right? Our site. Look at that name. Who can pronounce that name?
What name? Where?
Right there. Thea must have cost something.
Oh, I don't know who this is. This dude's name, he lived to be almost 80, is Theomistococals Chirozoom. Oh, but anyway.
If they have any comments or
hope he had a good.
Like
yeah. And over here, here's Calliope Chirozoos. I don't know. Anyway, till next time, just remember to like and subscribe, and we'll try to bring you more videos of awesome things like paying our respect to Rick Rood. All right. Thank you.